Baez, if you wouldn't mind kicking us off, please.
Okay, let's go.
Infernal Shrines. So, name of this game is a little bit on the wave clearance and shrine control. You need a combination of area deny, and the high damage AoE to be able to get all of those minions down. So, high priority picks: Gul'dan, KT, Sylvanas to an extent. Dehaka and Faustad tend to also be fairly high priority for this map, as they are able to delay their attendance on the objective like any other objective map. Who else, Baez? Who am I missing?
No, I think you pretty much covered the priorities pretty nicely there. We'll see. Just want to prioritize. Obviously, different teams may have, you know, unique strategies that they're bringing here. The map pick was by Bananas, is that right?
That is correct. So we have Bananas.
Generally speaking, Infernal is a more standard map, but you can see some cheese strategies here. So we could see some, you know, some prepared tactics coming out from one of the teams.
Yeah, I've seen a couple. Gul'dan ban seems fair.
An interesting one. It depends whether you want to leave the globals, and I guess primarily at the moment the Dehaka, because I think he's pretty strong after the last patch.
Race car Dehaka is hilarious. He is absolutely hilarious. That does mean that the Bananas team are not going to want to ban down the one of the globals, so it does leave it open for both teams. You're right on the pocket strats. I have seen a team run a Blackheart's Bay Zul strat on this map.
Zul can be very effective on this map.
The unfortunate problem with it is, of course, that if you leave Zul soaking, that's great, but it does mean you're then 4 and 5 on the objective. In that particular case, the enemy team had a Sylvanas, and it didn't end well.
Sure. I mean, you have to find the right balance, absolutely. And if you're against something that's very early game orientated, like a Sylvanas, that snowballs very hard with the objective, that's pretty awkward. I think if you're looking for a Zul type approach, Sylvanas is probably something you need to look at banning.
Now, we had a Sonya ban from the Bananas team, and the strongest tank in the game, in the form of Nubarak, has been picked up immediately by Coopera.
It does leave the Dehaka option open, so we might see Bananas looking to get that in their first rotation. It also leaves Mouth open, who is generally considered to be the strongest of the supports at the moment, I think.
Till next week.
And yes, indeed, at the moment was definitely the key part of that phrase there.
I get Twitter. I realised I should get Twitter up. I should tweet this. Let's tweet this. Let's do this.
Sure.
Let's get that moving. While Bananas take their time, but I think both teams are taking their time with their picks and bans a little bit. Just kind of in general.
I think that was something that Coopera co-op era thought might see a ban. So it is the Mouth, and we're going to go with the Grey main, leaving both of the globals open here, which does leave the option for Coopera, if they want to do so, to get the dominance on the globals. They can pick one here and then obviously ban the other one out before the opponents have a chance to pick anything else. But no, okay, we're going with a very all-in composition here.
Oh, okay, that's ballsy. Kerrigan on Infernal Shrines, she does give a lot of shrine clearance. Coopera have also now picked up their... Well, there's a couple of characters who can solo lane there. In fact, all 3 of them can if they get desperate, but it's most likely going to be Tyrael.
Kerrigan you very much want in the rotation, if at all possible, because you do need to get value off of Kerrigan early. She does fall off as the game goes into the late game, so if you don't get value from her early on, you're going to potentially regret it.
Now, can I find Coop Era Gaming on Twitter? There's a question. They're on Facebook, I know that.
Ban seems a strong one. He's obviously a strong support, but he's very good also in that sort of aggressive, divey type composition that Co-op Era have gone for.
given they've picked up Kerrigan, I do not blame them for banning Ufa in any regard. Considering they have Greymane, it's something I would have considered anyway, just because you don't want Greymane to dive and then immediately get stunned. Varian, yeah, that seems fair. Now, the thing I should point out from the side of Coopera is they've got both the anti-magic tanks. Both Anubarak and Tyrael do have the passive spell armor now at this point, so it does limit Banana's burst mage selection and their burst potential by a little bit. Greymane's cast bullet
for that burst, which you know, pretty much circumvents the. I mean, it's classically considered the counter to Anubarak, obviously. So, you know, I think they're already reasonably positioned, but you do make a good point. Picking up a mage on the part of Bananas here might be a little awkward.
That being said,
so I imagine they're going to want to stick away from that.
I wouldn't say no to a KT right now, though, on the side of Bananas.
Did you with a Twitter handle for Coopera Gaming, by the way?
Oh.
Chat has provided the Twitter handle, if you still want it.
I tried to put that in, but we'll do it again, why not?
Lily.
Okay, first of all, that's a brave Lily choice. Because Kerrigan doesn't really care about the auto. They haven't picked up a heavy auto attacker yet. They while I know Bananas are clearly going for the double support, Malfurion and Lily do a lot of continuous sustained healing, but are not really good at providing a lot of burst healing. Given the fact
that is true. They don't provide a lot of burst healing. They do provide a lot of counter dive, though, with the roots and the blind, and Arthas also, like the best counter dive tank. Varian's very nice in that he gets to be able to lock one diver down, but Arthas just slows everybody, hampers everybody that's trying to dive with his aura. So, you know, I really like that pick here, I think.
And the Area Deny on Infernal Shrines, but the thing is, there isn't a hefty auto attacker. There's the KT for the for Coopera. I definitely would have preferred to see the KT picked up on the side of Bananas a lot more than it is on Coopera. It makes perfect sense. He's a good choice on this map, regardless. They just get the hacker now, Bananas.
Awkward thing to pick into the Anub Tyrael. I mean, as you said, the anti-magic defenses on those guys is pretty strong. So, yeah, I don't know. We'll see.
It's just, though, the thing is, if you got Anubarak, despite the fact that they've got the spell armor, you've got Anubarak, Kerrigan, and Tyrael, all of which are melee. That's 3 melee characters into KT. Regardless, is still a little bit of a... KT should be able to help them out quite a lot there, more so than any of the other mages. On the side of Bananas, they need a second tank right now. Like, no questions asked.
For them here, I think that would be... Okay. We're going...
Okay. That's... interesting.
For it. Yeah, I mean... gives them a very aggressive team composition. The Zul'jin and the Greymane are excellent at shredding through Anub and Tyrael, so that is very nice for them. Pretty good counter dive. Classically, Cocoon is considered to be a bit of a counter to him, so...
In fact,
but obviously Anub can't Cocoon everybody, so...
Yeah, if he uses Cocoon to get rid of either Malfurion or Lily, it means you can't Cocoon Zul'jin when he goes unkillable. So there is that from that perspective, but if Bananas get engaged on, they're just gonna fall. The thing is that, as I was saying, Lily and Malfurion do a lot of overtime healing. Okay, apparently I didn't actually turn the bets on. Never mind, in that case we'll have a 2-minute bet right now. There we go. 2-minute bet is on for what is that. I have to say I prefer Coopera Gaming's team right now, beyond a shadow of a doubt.
Sure, they have a very powerful early game comp. Unfortunately, Moobot is going to mean that, or lack thereof is going to mean that people aren't going to be informed about your betting.
That's
I believe.
It'll be fine. It'll be fine, I'm sure. Right.
Go to revlo.co.uk and obviously you'll be able to get in there.
What is that doing here? Why do I have a Chrome on my... Yeah, alright. Well, guys, we're here with game number 1 of the Bananas team in the red corner and Coopera Gaming, or Co-op Era Gaming, over in the blue. Playing for Bananas, we have Raika on Zul'jin, Kwani is on Greymane, the stand-in Captain Crispy is on Malfurion, Olaf de Parat is on Arthas, and Zynom is on the Lily.
And on the left, we do have Co-op Era Gaming, Dakbar playing Rhaegar, Zotti on Kel'Thas, Kragaral on Kerrigan, Kazdarad on Tyrael, and RTZ playing the Anub'arak.
Okay, looking at talents for a moment. We have the scouting drone from Malfurion. We do have the standard cocktail build. We're going to get damage build Lily. Unsurprisingly, we have the want axe. I don't think there's any massive surprises there.
At all, we do have... Yeah.
The Kerrigan block, I think, is the only one that is a little bit of a surprise and already getting Kerrigan combo value. The lockdown from Arthas is not quite doing enough to prevent that dive. And at this point, Lily has gone up to go do the solo lane. Yeah, solo lane Lily makes an awful lot of sense, to be honest.
Gaming sticking still as a 5 here, which is quite unusual. They are going to lose a little bit of soak up in the top lane for that.
But I don't think it's enough to make it
Not
relevant.
Sure, that's worth it.
Not with Raika.
Zul'jin is going to get caught out.
I appear to be having some kind of frame rate issues going on right now. Let's pause the stream, that will help. Bananas, I think, possibly lacking their captain. Lacking their captain, I think they're not looking as confident as they would be normally. Like that, leaving Zul'jin on his own and getting caught out like that is not something we'd be expecting to see from what we know they're capable of doing as a team.
Sure.
So, let's see, up top we have a Lily versus Tyrael, and I can tell you from experience, Tyrael will lose that eventually when he runs out of mana, but he does have significantly higher clearance than the Lily does. And we're seeing again, with Arthas off doing his own thing, already gone on the shrine, did leave Malfurion and Zul'jin on their own and got picked off one by one. The amount of CC on the side of Coopera Gaming is insane. Their dive potential is ludicrous.
I mean, I think they have a significant compositional advantage in the early game, and I think a certain amount of getting caught out is almost inevitable. I do think that their composition gets weaker as the game goes on, so yeah. I think Bananas need to be looking to hold out, to not give up too much, but you know, I don't think we could ever expect the early game advantage.
You keep cutting out, by the way, mate. KT are on 7 stacks of Convection. It's not exactly too bad. Kerrigan's going for Fury of the Storms, so not combo build, but it's just the amount of CC knocking around on Coopera Gaming is... There's just too much of it. If Kerrigan goes for a target and immediately gets followed up by a Anub'arak and even Tyrael, that target is going to go down. Bananas need to stop sending people off on their own.
Oh. Yeah, they certainly need to be as sort of cohesive as possible, playing in a unit in the early game to try and minimise the possibility of them getting picked off. We do see KT with 9 stacks of Convection here. Obviously getting a reset on those Convection stacks would be significant. We do see the rotation. Arthur should be fine here.
No, he shouldn't. Lacking the second
That's going to be
healer
enough to blow even him up.
Yeah, the fact is that Arthas went on the Kerrigan while she was about to capture the camp. Perfectly the correct decision, well done there, Arthas. But Bananas were not quite following it up. They sent 2 people down, but unfortunately, unfortunately Coopera A got there first and sent 3. So looks like they're going to clean up camps. Anubarak sitting in the bushes, 1 level down. Bananas just need to sit back and soak a little bit and just stop giving away kills, basically.
To equalise the talent tiers, that will obviously level things up a good bit.
I don't know Tyrael well enough to comment on his build too much, but I do like the extra movement speed and the extra movement speed duration given their dive-heavy team. That will help on chasing people down and with the combination of getting away. Kerrigan has got the Fury of the Swarm and the Blade of Momentum talents, which were fixed a couple of months ago, actually. So they no longer provide the cooldown reduction for every target hit with the auto-attack AoE. And again, Kerrigan combos hitting everyone, and Anubarak and Rhaegar diving straight on the person who gets comboed and will go down immediately. Arthas on his own is struggling.
Indeed, the solo front line is possibly causing a little bit of an issue for Bananas here. I think scales into the late game, it does have its advantages, but we shall see.
Yeah. Now, 9 versus 7. I don't think Bananas, as much as it is an excellent Anubarak going around the other side of Guani there. Arthas is right there in the middle, but again, Arthas without army or without Single Ghost just isn't getting the ramp. Excellent Kerrigan combo down on the Grey Mane once more. Actually, Anubarak falling down to Zul'jin's continuous damage. Lili has not gone for the cleanse and has gone for the Lightning Serpent to give a bit more damage, which I definitely like playing a lot of Lili. Now, Coopera Gaming are going to race the level 10s. Kerrigan has gone down to clear in middle, and Bananas, however, are racing this, but without Arthas or Greymane getting on those minions, with only Zul'jin, I don't think they're going to get it down quick enough.
Get these shrine minions down as fast as they can. Anubarak now up and level 10 here. Yeah, if they don't back out here, this could end quite
very
awkwardly
poorly
for them.
I have to admit, I don't like what this Arthas is doing. I haven't seen him. He keeps leaving Frozen Tempest on for far too long. No, Bananas, go soak those other two lanes, guys. Oh,
Mouth getting cocooned, but probably a little prematurely there. Not really getting any value off the cocoon.
25 to 28 minions. There's still Sanctification, Maelstrom, Phoenix, and Ancestral Healing are on the side of Coopera Gaming, ready to go. Bananas are being really brave, electing to engage this. 36. I think they're trying to ninja the shrine minions, but with Kerrigan on the case, yeah, it's not going to happen.
Be very strong for finishing off those shrine minions. Now, we did see in the meanwhile Lili has rotated to mid, make sure they're getting that extra soak, try to catch up with the level 10. The dive comes in, but the cleanse is good, and Banana's retreating.
Incoming combo. And that'll be enough.
That was a very unpleasant Kerrigan combo. Is going to be enough to kill the Arthas. Yeah.
I think they're sending the wrong person to
That's going to be a
lane.
fort.
I think they should be sending Greymane to go and do it, and instead having Lili in the fight.
True, yeah, they might need the additional support and utility from Lili.
That being said, Greymane has finished Incendiary Elixir. KT is on 17 stacks of Convection. Now, Anubarak is doing a very respectable 17 on Regeneration Master already. Arthas has now finished Frozen Wastes. Zul'jin is 10 out of 30 stacks for the U-Want Axe, and we're most of the way through Frost Presence. They do now have level 10s. Are Bananas going to go for this? They're not feeling quite brave enough. Kerrigan going in, unfortunately. Greymane getting immediately hit by the Kerrigan combo. Rhaegar is going for it and could be
Greymane just going to manage to get away, but the Lili in the cocoon there, going to throw down the Water Dragon, and that's a lot of damage.
Water Dragon.
KT does go down before Convection is completed.
Rip stacks. Excellent Ancestral Healing down on the Kerrigan. Rhaegar will finish off the Mafia in. That, unfortunately, however, will be a Rhaegar falling down to Arthas, and the combination of Lili. Zul'jin has now turned up. Tyrael is not quite present. Again, Kerrigan is just landing those combos left, right, and centre. But
have been on point throughout the game.
40 health.
That was no, that was a narrow margin of escape there. But Banana's taking the fight, managing to actually
Clawing that back through a money Twilight Dream. War Dragon getting a decent amount of value. Obviously we have the Cuss Bullet. We do have Dingo, which is still available. And Arthur's popping Army of the Dead does mean he is able to sustain a hell of a lot longer in these fights now. Bias has left the game, which is good, and someone has paused. From Coopera has paused. 3-2-3.
my account, I will get back into the game as quick as I can.
Oh, he paused it out of he paused it out of respect because he saw someone leave, and so immediately paused it.
See, no, well, you guys should carry on, and I will be back in as quick as I can.
Okay, Coopera is ready, Bananas are ready, so in 3, 2, 1, we're back in the room. That's thoughtful. I'm going to say most teams just kind of... It's normally a case that most teams let the opposing team pause if someone's left.
Indeed. Yeah.
But that being said, it wasn't a team fight going on, so it's kind of like nothing was really happening. No one is engaged or even close to being engaged, so that seems fair. Level 13s have been picked up from Coopera. Bananas have... Oh, Bananas, you brave boys. Are they doing this? They're doing it. Oh my days. Okay, this could have gone south. Unfortunately for them, Coopera is already on the bottom, is on the shrine. However, we do have Bananas now capping Coopera's side bruiser camp.
Okay.
It's brave, but unfortunately, I think it might be costing them this Punisher, and by might I mean it will be costing them this Punisher. With Coopera Gaming, Mouth whiffing the Twilight Dream as Tyrael gets away with milliseconds to spare before he got silenced. It's good use of the Twilight Dream there. Unfortunately, Lily has also used her Water Dragon, so that's 2 ultimates down. Good God, I have lags going on. Good God, frame rates. Now, that is unsurprisingly a further Punisher up for Coopera Gaming. Bananas were doing the correct thing though, waiting for their Talenteers to come back. However, they are down Dream. War Dragon has a nothing cooldown, so we'll go down. Excellent cleanse on the Arthas to prevent the Anubarak dive. Greymane is there right in the middle, again doing the right thing. Unfortunately, Sanctification goes off. Arthas just peeling back out. Again, Kerrigan combo going straight down the Mafia, and he's going to Ice Block to delay the inevitable, but it is not going to save him. Whew. Fights happen.
And I'm back in the game.
You're back in the room. And now you are. It stopped lagging me. So, KT is back up to 2 stacks of Convection, so put your bets in now of whether he's actually going to be able to complete that. That Punisher will go down before it threatens a fort, before it threatens the keep even. Arthas does now have the armor reducer on the Frozen Tempest, on the Howling Blast. Yeah, with the combination of Frost Presence and the cooldown reduction does mean he is going to be able to get a lot of armor reductions going down, meaning Greymane can dive quite heavily. I think the thing that ruined Bananas in that fight was just the lack of Twilight Dream when they dived. Excellent Sanctification, it's been getting held, waiting for the right moment, and that was definitely the right moment. Now,
For sure, yeah. Level 16's nearly here for Coopera Gaming, and that's going to obviously present a problem for Bananas. They're going to not want to engage in any fights here.
Bushmatter, and that will be a dead Greymane. Oh, that's on a scale of 1 to dead Greymane, that is a very dead Greymane. And Zul'jin comes in as well, gets hit by the Cocoon, and that will be a dead Zul'jin as well. He's popped unkillable, but it's not going to do anything. Like, I can see,
unfortunately.
Yeah, Zul'jin reacted, missing Arthas. I'm not sure who their sub is for this or whether they're on their roster, but this is definitely not the Bananas that we know.
As you say, their captain isn't playing with them. I believe Olaf is sort of on their... he's on their roster, but he's not one of their main lineup. So.
Now that's a lot of minions, plus the Stolen Bruiser camp coming in on this keep with 16 to 14. However, ultimates are up on the side of Bananas. Water Dragon coming down, landing on top of Kerrigan, whose absorption shield will take all of that damage. Sanctification was a couple of milliseconds too late to prevent the Water Dragon from landing. Excellent silence. Twilight Dreams, other than that whiff one, has been generally going down quite well, and perfectly timed ancestral healing will keep the Tyrael alive while the minions trade off on the fort, putting Coopera well and truly in control of this game, even if they weren't before.
Indeed, having a keep down is very impactful.
Now, what can Bananas do to try and start clawing this back? First of all, get the level 16s. Second, stop splitting up. Because I'm looking at Greymane and Zul'jin right now, not check those bushes. We also have a Malfurion and Lily separate, who are on the map and can be seen. Incoming Anubarak, who has got the Burning Rage that will do a lot of damage just by being there, and once Bananas need to start respecting their opponents a little bit more. They're spending too much time split up, separated out, and they're going to get picked off one by one by one. That's what they've been doing all game. That is a Malfurion in that cocoon, and that will be a dead Malfurion.
Yep, well, yeah, indeed. Did need to, as you said, they did need to try and get that level 16, so they kind of need to split up in order to get that. It's one of the reasons why a global can be very effective on this map, because it can help you make up those kind of positions.
They didn't need to split as they did, though. Their way of splitting was suboptimal. At best. They're missing Kerrigan. We do now have... Tyrael actually has not elected to go for Holy Ground and does have the Salvation. Chain CC. It's just CC after CC after CC. And the 2-level...
Kerrigan there.
Yeah, Kerrigan's just going to get that because it's, you know, it's Kerrigan. She can kind of just do what she wants, really, on the Shrine minions.
Mm-hmm.
And that's another web, meaning we're about to get another batch of Chain CC from the KT and from the Anubarak, and that will be a dead Zul'jin as well. It's a little bit painful to see, I'm not gonna lie. This is just, I was expecting Bananas to put up a lot more of a fight than what they are.
Yeah, well, as we discussed, they were facing a very aggressive early game composition, and they've managed to get the advantage and snowball it, which, you know,
is what to be expected.
It's what their composition was designed to do.
Yeah, excellent
sure.
Twilight Dream and
Greymane managing to escape there due to the Twilight Dream.
Yeah, this
Arthur's falling very low.
Army coming up a little bit too late. Need to pre-pop Army. Down will go Malfurion, despite the Ice Block simply buying time. And that is a lot of minions. And down will go that core, meaning game number 1 going over to Coopera Gaming. Ooh.
Indeed.
I think part of this has to do with, I don't think Bananas are used to enemy teams going that ham onto them. I think they're very much used to being the aggressor, and in that instance where you're used to being the aggressor and then someone plays you at your own game, you're not necessarily sure what to do about it in a lot of cases. So again, it's a little bit of an odd one for them, a little bit of, I'd say, something a little bit different, which obviously puts them then on the back foot as well, even more so. So, it still wasn't necessarily a bad performance, but they were definitely making some rookie mistakes that I would have expected to not be seeing from them, just in general. It could, as we say, it could be an off day for obvious reasons, but you know what I mean. Fill time. I'm going to find out what Crispy would like to do for the next game.
There were definitely some errors creeping in there, but I mean, I do think that was at least in part due to the pressure that Coopera Gaming was able to put on them, and as you say, possibly a different pace of game from what they're comfortable with.
Now, Crispy of Bananas has elected to take first pick for this next map, so it will be over to Dakbar of Coopera Gaming to select the map. To remind everyone, we were obviously just on Infernal Shrines with the next, with Battlefield of Eternity and Dragon Shrine banned out of proceedings.
Indeed, yeah.
No one actually bet in the end. Or, I suppose, Moop dead, isn't it?
Yeah, does make it more difficult, certainly. I saw quite a lot of people typing their bets into chat, which is
no one actually put anything on. Well, anyway, moving on. I'll just say we're just waiting for Dakbar to select a map. To mention everyone, over on the main channel, while your Revlo points are still relevant before it shuts down on the Friday the 16th, that is next Friday, we are currently running a Oni Genji giveaway, which includes Genji and all 3 of his Oni Genji skins. So if you would like to be in with a chance of winning that, please go to the main channel at Heroes Lounge at twitch.tv/heroes_lounge, type in !ticket, space and a number to spend 25 Revlo points per ticket, and the draw will take place at some point next week before Revlo goes down. I wonder whether it actually works here.
Effective. Revlo has woken up.
Revrobot has woken up. !giveaway doesn't seem to work over on this channel. Again, it'll be on the main channel. So if you would like to be in a chance, if you'd like to be in a chance of winning Genji, if you don't already possess him, we are going to Tomb of the Spider Queen for our next game. Yes, if you would like to be in a chance of winning that, if you don't already own Genji or the skins, then as I say, please go to the main channel and purchase your tickets over there. Right, okay, that's a lobby up. Now, I'm just going to quickly stick myself into the Be Right Back screen while I get the lobby set up. Be right back, guys. Okay, guys, we are back. All of bananas are now the entire bunch of bananas, so to speak. Yes, I had to go there. Are now present and correct in the lobby, so we should be able to get started momentarily.
Excellent. We do have a ready from the crown on bananas there.
Yeah, let's just check. I don't know who actually wants it. Okay, yeah, there we go. Wants to go to Crispy. Okay. There we go. Alright, in that case, Free, would you mind please doing the countdown by Az?
A countdown?
Yeah. Start the game! Oh wait, I'm host. Nah.
Host.
Dumbass. You shut up. Tomb of the Spider Queen, ladies and gentlemen, for game number 2. As we say, the Bananas team have elected to take the first pick. So that will mean... sorry, it was Coopera Gaming that selected the map, as Bananas have elected to take the first pick for this game. Now then, ladies and gentlemen, high priority picks for this map include, obviously, massive amounts of wave clearance, and to a lesser extent those who can put out a decent chunk of PvE damage. Siege for this map is the name of the game. Respect ban on the Tyrael there. I wouldn't have thought Tyrael would be the one they'd go for. And
no,
Ban.
possibly. We
Yeah,
might well see a Gul'dan as the first pick. I think that would be a strong option for bananas. Obviously, very nice amounts of wave clear from him.
Given the fact they've already just taken down the Nubarak, I wouldn't say no to that, unless we could be seeing something a little bit left field. It's the thing is,
always possible.
At this point, it could be anything. There's so many heroes that are ridiculous on this map. Like as I always talk about, Valor's never wrong. So it could quite easily be a Valor pickup. The thing that you don't want to let happen, though, is an Oriole Gul'dan combination. But I don't know how much or how well Coopera pulls that one off.
Well, and also, obviously, if you grab the Gul'dan in that first pick, it makes it more difficult for the enemy team to pick the Oriole.
They're going to go for their
They do
grey
go
main.
with the grey main priority.
They like their grey main. Again, not necessarily bad. Cocktail gets quite a lot with the number of minions knocking around and people having to get in and collect gems. He does get quite a decent amount of value knocking just from existing. Also isn't exactly bad at getting down spiders, helps wear heroes down when doing sieging, and it's a hero they tend to take a lot. I think it's one that bananas are just generally is a hero that they enjoy and are comfortable with. So given what just happened, Johanna first pick, and okay, Genji is on the board.
Yeah, very strong hero in the meta at the moment. Very high skill cap, so we haven't seen him a lot in the start of the Heroes Lounge playoffs. I think
Pony's played him.
Seen him a couple of times, but I think not a lot of teams are ready to bring him out. When it's all on the line.
Yeah.
So excited to see what Coopera Gaming are going to do with that. Wow, that's a very
aggressive.
strong counter pick into that Genji. Obviously, Genji always looking to be the one that dives in, and Uther and Varian are both very strong at shutting down that hard. So, very strong picks for bananas here. I like the start of their draft a good bit more than I like what Coopera Gaming have done.
But this does mean that Dahaka, Gul'dan, Sylvanas, Zul are all, and Zebro as well, let's not forget Zebro for a second, are all still on the board.
A lot of good heroes still available.
Now, what will probably happen from Coopera is they've picked up Johanna, who is spectacular on this map, and she is my favourite tank by an absolute mile. she will get a lot of work done on this map with the Condemned. There's the Gul'dan ban, so he is now off the table. Genji is just going to go around looking for individual pickoffs, meaning that Bananas need to be really careful that they don't... Asmodan ban, that's a left field one.
Yeah, a little bit unusual. He can be very good on this map. It is does tend to be a late game map, so...
Could be a target ban, because I can understand not wanting to have the Johanna and the Asmodan dropping in the... You don't want Asmodan trying to stack Taste for Blood with Johanna, because you know how that ends, and it's badly for Bananas.
Yeah, I mean, Asmodan was for a long time kind of a pocket strat on this map particularly, because of the ease with which he can clear multiple lanes.
Okay, that's...
Okay.
Okay.
G.
I mean,
very interesting setup there.
I mean, ignoring the skin. Who do you want else? They're going to go for the Rhaegar again. That makes sense, because you're going to want to be able to get a quick burst heal up on the Genji, and they already have Ufa. It's going to be difficult for the team of Bananas to get past Johanna, but at the moment they're not necessarily lacking the wave clear with if Johanna goes for the full Condemn build and Rhaegar takes Lightning Bond. That is going to do a butt ton of damage in terms of clearance. I don't think they're lacking it too much. They're going to have to pick a solo laner up now. Rag is available, as is Alarak, as is Arthas. Bananas, how do you
Arthas
respond?
is always a little bit risky into an unknown opposition in the solo lane, so we might not see Bananas want to go that route.
Oh no, I mean Arthas for Coopera.
Well, depending on what Bananas look to pick up for their solo lane, that certainly could be an option.
Just get the KT, guys. Just get the KT. Now you've got the Ufa. There's the Sonya and a Li Ming.
I like that quite a good bit, actually. Li Ming is extremely good into the Chromie, the level 1 spell armor.
It's spell armor I actually would consider not taking, and Leoric to solo up against Sonya. I would actually not take the spell armor because Genji will just obliterate the stacks of it. They've taken Li Ming to do Torn Orb. Is what's going to happen with that.
Sure, I mean that's certainly one of the effects there. She just generally is very strong against the Chromie. She has reasonable wave clear. It's not fantastic, but it is okay.
It's better than Chromie.
I mean, yeah. So, and you know, Li Ming is very strong into the Chromie mobility, and obviously Chromie repeatedly roots herself to get her abilities off. So if you can land your skill shots on those moments, you can get a lot of damage in.
But if Li Ming puts so much of a foot out of position, she is going to get jumped. She's just going to get jumped by Genji, like immediately.
Kill you that quickly.
He's not going to kill her that quickly, but equally, she ain't getting away.
Sure, but I mean that's why you've got a Varian and an Uther.
But we will find out the end results, ladies and gentlemen, as we go into game number 2 of Coop Era Gaming versus Bananas. On the blue side, we have the Coop Era Gaming with Dakbar playing the Rhaegar. We have Zoti playing the Chromie, Kazdarad playing Genji, Kragora, yes, playing Leoric, and TC playing Johanna.
And on the right-hand side, we do have Bananas, Olaf de Pirate going to be playing the Sonya, Kwani on Greymane, Crisby playing the Uther, Rake will be on the Li Ming, and Zynom playing the Varian.
Now, unsurprisingly, we do have the Regeneration Master from the Johanna and the Lightning Bond from the Rhaegar. That will sort... Johanna will be able to get a lot of value out of Regeneration Master because of the number of things around. Unsurprisingly, Li Ming does have the Force Armor just due to the fact there's a Chromie on the board. I don't blame her entirely for doing that. We have standard as far as I can tell from Genji, and Leoric will go hand build, and Sonya will go down to deal with her. Sonya has, however, elected to take block, which is not a choice I understand.
It's very strong into the Leoric. Obviously, he has a very slow attack speed. It is usually the preferred talent pick if you're going to be solo laning against the Leoric. Certainly on a map like this, where you're going to be in the solo lane for an extended period of time against him, that gives you a good amount of value.
But why not take Warpaint?
His block is more effective against Leoric.
Is it?
Yep.
Really? His also attacks don't hit that hard. The issue is more of the spooky hand.
I mean, sure, but Warpaint doesn't help you against that either. The only thing that helps you against that is getting good.
Just hit something, spin through something, and just heal through. Anyway, I'll digress off of that because I end up doing quite a bit of Sonya and I know how to deal with Leoric. But moving on, Chromie obviously is going for her relatively standard build, and surprisingly, Bananas are on the back foot in terms of clearance, and are once again, well, basically on the back foot, with Coopera Gaming basically being the ones in control, already having tower damage and tower shots taken out. I think it's just the combination of the Johanna and the Rhaegar. Genji is looking for a pick-off on the Sonya. She just isn't spinning quite enough in minions, just running away from Leoric, which means his hand is going to get full value. If Sonya isn't hitting things, if she's not spinning, she's not healing. If she's not healing and doing what's happening here, where she's just running away, gets away with 5 health left, she is just going to die. Back to the 4-man.
Indeed. Obviously, what we do see is that the Chromie, obviously having very good early game power levels, getting some effect here. Varian, obviously on the side of Bananas, is much weaker in the early game,
and
obviously until that level 10. So,
and it looks like Sonya has elected to trade with Greymane, sending Greymane to go and deal with Leoric, which I think will enable them to have a lot more muscle in the 4-man, a lot better clearance. Genji getting away through the power of his hyper annoying dash. And Johanna is also completely out of mana at this point, and so we'll just have to we'll eventually have to go do something about that. Johanna has also got the Laws of Hope. Surprisingly, only has 4 globes. I thought they'd have a little bit more than that. So Johanna's going to go for full regen here. Actually going to get Mobius Loop, not the Dragon's Eye from Chromie. So Chromie looking to spec a little bit more into the wave clearance. We have a Sonya there on her own who's going to take a Dragon's Breath, but it's not going to hit that high, stopping the spin at the correct time due to the Genji deflect. Now, going down bottom, it does look like Kwani on the Greymane is having significantly better time against the Leoric, with Leoric having tapped his cup, as has the Greymane. Back in mid... Oh, sorry, go.
In that matchup, as you, if you're Greymane, if you can dodge the hand, you get a good few seconds where you can get damage in, and he seems to be taking advantage of that. Bit of a scuffle in mid. Sonya falling very low, as does Johanna. But it looks like everybody's going to survive.
Yeah, both teams are capable of handing in, but until Bananas get level 10, they are going to be on the back foot because Varian just does not come online until then.
Absolutely, but you know, once they hit that power spike, that is going to be very impactful. A
lot of gems. Oh, Li Ming does interrupt the Johanna cast quite sufficiently. Sonya needs to get a heal in, but Ufa is not really good at getting those top-ups done, and that will be a dead Sonya. First blood, 4 minutes, 50 seconds into the game, and we now have our first blood. Sonya going down. Ufa is able to pick up the coins, and unfortunately, with the Genji and the Rhaegar rotating, means that Leoric will finish the kill on the Greymane. This gives Coopera Gaming the opportunity to be able to pay in, with most heroes on their side of the board having a lot of gems stacked.
And that will be the first turn in for the blue team here.
Yeah. Unsurprisingly.
We really need to be looking at Bananas to try and get the level 10 without losing too much structural damage, and before Coopera Gaming can get their second turn in. Because if they can get their level 10s before that point, they're definitely in a good spot to
actually contest. Yeah.
swing the game back in their favour.
Once we get level 10, it becomes a different game. Olaf, again, going a little bit too ham, and will get hit by the Temporal Loop and the Chromie. If Olaf is that sub, despite being a regular sub, I just don't think he's being on the same page this game. Li Ming has elected to go for the full damage build with the combination of Triumvirate and Seekers. I think Seekers on Tomb is a little bit of a brave choice. To be honest, I think Li Ming on Tomb is a bit of a brave choice just in of itself.
Seekers obviously very hard to get value from, so it's really on Rake there to prove that he can land those Seekers in the team fights and get the value from it.
Genji using the X-Strike.
Yeah, X-Strike coming down, level 10s. Yeah, level 10's already in for Coopera Gaming. That's very unfortunate for Bananas. We do nearly have a turn-in ready for Coopera Gaming, and the level 10s should allow them to secure that quite easily.
They might be able to ninja it. Coopera Gaming going to ninja this camp. They should do. There we go. Sonya's handing in her 8 now, and while that is a bruiser camp stolen for Bananas, and Coopera Gaming have that, these web weavers should help be able to draw them a little bit even, or at the very least hit them level 10. Sonya needs to peel the F back up now before she gets killed.
Absolutely, and is doing so just in time, getting the value from pushing that wave and not getting caught out, so that is good.
Ufa still hasn't quite
mid lane doesn't have a fort.
Ufa hasn't quite finished his Wave of Light quest. We do also have Holy Fire from him and the Guardian of Ancient Kings, which I wouldn't have taken against that team, because there's only 2 stuns. One of them comes out of Johanna. Like, there isn't constant stunning. Like, one of them is a micro stun, and obviously one of them is her ultimate. And the likelihood is Ufa is taking the shield anyway, so isn't going to heal. Oh, Johanna, speaking of, missing the blessed shield. Entomb coming in on the Sonya, and the Ufa is not the target she wants. Taunt is now active and has been used on the Genji. Ancestral Healing coming out on Johanna, who has approximately 0 mana. Now, Sonya's having to peel back out, and it looks like the entirety of Banana's having to peel back out. Genji finishing the kill off on the... there we go. On the Grey main. Ufa is going down as well, and considering there's a Chromie on the board, he should have just taken his cleanse. I don't think there's any reason for him to not have taken the cleanse talent.
Yeah, possibly cleanse would have served better in this scenario. I'd
like to take
there's
this
not
moment
many
to
roots
say,
and silences either, are there?
There's nothing. There's Johanna. There's literally Johanna for terms of stuns.
Very powerful talent if you can get the value from it, of course. So,
yes. But Ufa's level 7.
It's a good talent, but possibly not right in this scenario.
It's the most broken talent. It's basically here, have hardened shield. For what? A couple of seconds?
At level 7.
Yeah. For what is it? For 2 seconds. Yeah. So it's like have half hardened shield at level 7 on whoever the hell I heal. Like it's ludicrous. But against this team, the level 7 tier for Ufa is really viable. Any one of them on that tier is realistically viable, but against the time loop, it should have been the cleanse.
So we do see Coopera Gaming have the turn in once again. They're looking to push in on the top fort, which is the last fort still standing for Bananas.
Excellent.
Bananas looking to get engaged.
Oh, that will be a bullet and a taunt going down on the Auric. Li Ming is doing work. The entire team taking the full damage of the X strike, and that will force them all down quite low despite the kill. Leoric will come back almost immediately. Genji finishes off 2 people now. That'll be Varian going down despite his whole W, and that'll be Varian. That's 3-4-1, unfortunately, for Bananas. Div 2 does not appear to be a real place this playoff. Like,
well, I mean, you know, it's a double elim. It's not over yet. If Bananas are not able to recover the game from this position, we do see level 15 already, and as you say, there's going to be at least one keep falling to this Web Weaver wave. If pickoffs occur, it could potentially end the game. Big chunk going down onto the Johanna, probably going to force Coopera Gaming to pull back here. So, given up by Bananas.
They got the keep. They don't need to. They don't need to carry on that lane. They're 4 levels up, 2 talent tiers. They can either just hand in again or go get the boss, or both.
But this does give, obviously, Bananas a breathing space to pick up at least the level 13 talent tier.
It's
and
possible.
I mean, realistically, they're going to need to try and win a fight, a talent tier down here, I think. So it's probably a case of hitting 13 and then trying to make an aggressive play.
So are Coopera Gaming going to force the engage, or are they going to just get the gems and do the hand in? Genji is engaging on the Grey main, and Genji is just so annoying. He's not quite Tracer annoying, but he is just so annoying.
Extremely mobile, and that's always a very difficult one to deal with. Ultimately, that is what the Varian is there for. But if Genji sufficiently positions himself around the Varian, obviously he can make it work for himself.
Blue Web Weavers, the Coopera Gaming didn't want to risk the throw pit. We're going to get an Entomb with Ufa and Sonya in there in the middle. Genji will go straight in. Li Ming is going to do her best, as will the Ufa, actually getting the stun off. Genji goes down. The majority of Coopera Gaming's damage are now out of the equation. Ancestral Healing going down on Johanna, and Sonya will get eventually taken out despite her spin because she didn't take Life Funnel. Greymane will go down to Johanna's AoE damage because, you know, it's Johanna. And ooh, kaboom! Well done, Chromie. Well done there. That's for the one. Just
the Chromie there.
This should be game.
Yeah, quite possibly here. Coopera Gaming not going for the most aggressive possible line. They have gone for the keep instead.
3 level advantage, talent tier up, like, play safe, you know.
Yeah, for sure, and they are now going to make the push for the core with the 2 Web Weavers in support.
And baited straight in that Sonya. Straight into the Entomb. Ufa will go down to the Web Weaver's wave. Greymane's going to get away, not particularly going to matter. Taunt coming down on the Leoric. Greymane doing his best. We're going to get a temporal loop on the Sonya, who also takes pretty much everything to the face. But yeah, core is just slowly getting worn down onto 20%, where the Web Weaver's still up, and Catapult's hitting it, Genji on it as well, and game going very comfortably to Coopera Gaming.
Game